DRC Congo arrived like fashion royalty. Ghana arrived as cultural ambassadors. Senegal arrived as gentlemen of style. There's how Africa is known. So when people want to arrive, I feel like that should go with you, especially when that stage is a huge platform. So guys, you know when we have a tournament and Africa, we have a representation, something like AFCON or, the World Cup. I always like to, showcase how African the team that will be participating, I always like to show how they arrive because that is a moment for me because it's a time to showcase culture, tradition, and somehow national pride in showing our, tradition and culture in fashion. So for this World Cup, I remember some days ago, if you haven't seen it, I did this video talking about how the countries representing Africa, how they stormed the US and those who, arrived Mexico, how they dressed. So in that video, I did 9. The 10th one, which is Democratic Republic of Congo, I remember saying that I didn't have it at that time because they hadn't arrived or so, or for some reason they haven't posted their pictures. So I just didn't do that because that was the 10th one. But you see now, they have arrived and they made a grand arrival. So that's what I am here to talk about because I said, no, I just have to do a separate video for this because they came and they showed off and showed out. And I love the way, they appeared. So I'm going to talk about their dressing, and also I remember talking about how Ghana also appeared, Ghana and Senegal appeared. Now, I saw a lot of people, like a lot of, the nationals of those countries, Ghana, Senegal, and all of that, saying that, oh, that their citizens haven't arrived like that, so why am I showing tracksuits? Guys. Anyway, if you're new here, my name is Osih-Oyelude. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. So yeah, for those who had a problem with that video, what I made was the video of how they arrived in the US. Now it's like some of them are now having other, moving from one state to another and then wearing like a traditional outfit. I think Ghana did that. But the thing is that they arrived in the US in a tracksuit, and that was what I said. Some said, oh, they've not hosted them. I don't know about that. Now I have seen like pictures and videos. They now dressed in some sort of a short and a touch of kente here and there. But hey, let's now go into the main reason for this video. I'm going to show the dressing of DRC Congo, of course, the one that Ghana wore later on, and then Senegal. So let's begin with the leopards. So the leopards arrived in America in a grand style, trust me. Now DRC Congo national team made one of what I would call one of the most memorable arrival of the World Cup so far, in my opinion. Now they practically turned the airport into a fashion runway. I'm not kidding you. The leopards stepped out in a coordinated black tailored suit featuring a striking leopard print sash draped across their chest. Beautiful. Now that's a bold nod, like a bold statement to the team's nickname. You know they are called the Leopards. That's their national identity. Now their look combined luxury, culture, and confidence, like exuding confidence. Now the sharp black suit were paired with a crisp white shirt, black tie, polished dress shoes, and stylish sunglasses, creating a sophisticated and commanding presence, if you ask me. Adding even more personality to their outfit was a leopard-themed accessory bag. Now that bag is wild. And an elegant leopard brooch pinned to the jacket pocket, symbolizing strength, pride, and elegance. Now, rather than arriving like, typical football team, like, wearing a tracksuit and all of that, the Congolese stars arrived like statesmen and fashion icons, projecting unity, discipline, and of course, national pride. Every detail appeared carefully curated, blending modern tailoring and African-inspired design elements. Now, this was a clear statement that DRC intends to make an impact both on and off the pitch. Now, this is a historic return for the Leopards, who are making their first appearance on this football's biggest stage since 1974. That's like 52 years ago, back when the nation was still known as Zaire, you get. So you know how big this is for them, and they needed to make a statement, and a statement they did. Now, let's go to Ghana. Now, you know that in my previous video, I talked about how Ghana appeared. And yes, that was how they appeared. That was how they landed in the US, in their tracksuits. Yes. So, I don't know what the fuss about was in my comment section. That, why didn't I this? Why did I this? They appeared like that. I was talking about how people landed. I'm repeating myself, saying that I was talking about how they landed. Okay, if now they have decided to wear their touch of kente, okay, I'll also talk about it. But that does not change how they appeared the first time, okay? So, the Black Stars now moved from where they landed. They now moved to another place called Rhodes Island in the US there. Yeah, the Black Stars bring culture to Rhodes Island instead of the former tracksuit that they wore when they arrived. The team embraced a relaxed yet culturally inspired rich look that celebrated Ghana's, heritage, what they, the touch of kente here and there. Now, the players arrived wearing coordinated earth-toned pattern shirt, matching shorts, complemented by their traditional Ghana-inspired scarves like this sash that they put around their shoulder, featuring the national colors of red, gold, and green. Now, the outfit struck a balance between comfort and cultural expression. Yes, if you look at it, you see that there's a touch of kente here and there, making them, stand out in their own way. Now, they assemble a modern streetwear influence while maintaining a strong connection to the Ghanaian identity. Now, the warm color palette reflected Africa's craftsmanship, of course, and creativity, creating a look that felt authentic, youthful, and fashionable. Now, this arrival wasn't the first, like I said earlier. They were just moving from, one place to another. So, yeah. To me, what matters most is that when people are arriving like that, there's how Africa is known. So when people want to arrive, I feel like that should go with you, especially when that stage is a huge platform to showcase things like that. Now, I saw a lot of Ghanaians. Somebody look at this post. Someone saying that that it looked like a prison wear. That let them not pretend like, that it doesn't look like prison wear. No, I don't know about that. But what I do know is that as long as there is this touch of African in it, I'm fine. I don't know whether shorts works for me or trousers work for me. I don't know. But the bottom line is that just, represent Africa, represent your country, represent your motherland. That's just what I just want to say, So for Congo, there are a lot of people who had a challenge about Congo, like, that the leopard sash by their chest region wasn't needed. I don't know about needed or not needed, or if it looks good there, if not. But the truth is, I understand the message they're trying to pass across. They're called the leopards. That's their identity. So they're trying to say that, okay, what better way to put out their identity other than, showcasing and carrying it with so much pride and, confidence. However you want to see it, it was represented in their bag. Like, it looked good for what they're going to do. Now, they're not going to the runway to come, or they're not going somewhere where you say, the leopard, whatever, is so much that it is who they are. Now, what a way to make an entrance. These people haven't been to the World Cup almost 52 years ago. That was the last time they were at the World Cup. And they were Zaire then, like I read earlier, they were Zaire then. So, what a way to come back and make an impact. Like, you arrive, you make an appearance. However you want to see, this look will not be forgotten in a hurry. You get what I'm saying? So, however you say it, their leopard is represented there. And that's all that matters. So in all this fashion, like for Ghana, it's both of us, we have banter. For every other country, Senegal, DRC, okay. But I remember saying that, am I going to still banter them? I don't know. But you see, after due consideration, we are still going to banter. No. My mind flashed back to what you guys did during AFCON, did to us during AFCON. And when we didn't qualify, I said, no, now we need to banter. So you have one job. You have to win. I'm just reminding you again, in case you are carried away by, all these things I said about the dressing. You know, I will not, when it comes to dressing, I will not sugarcoat it. It's the way it is. That's the way it is. That's where I'll talk about it. But yeah, this time now, it's time to play. Well, I heard that they stopped one of their own from getting into Canada, Thomas Partey. You see, this year's World Cup, I don't even understand stopping Africans from entering. The other day was one of the referees is from Somalia. This time, Thomas Partey, so he's not going to get into Canada for Ghana. So that means practically out from the tournament. And because, of course, you guys know his pending case, his grape case, going on somewhere in Europe. But I don't know, they've not charged him for anything. He's still a suspect, right? So I don't know how this works, but I feel like, you're not, guilty. You've not been pronounced guilty. So anyway, let me just leave that matter because it's a very sensitive one. But hey, the remaining squad, Partey or no Partey, you people should play well, because if you don't play well, we'll do Partey after Partey. We will do it. I don't know how that connects to what I'm saying, but hey, you get what I mean. Just play well. If not, we will have problem. We'll go get problem. Oh yeah, we'll go get problem. I just said I should say that. Okay? All right. So yeah, let's move on to the next. We're talking about the national team of Senegal. Now the Teranga Lions, what they wore this time worked for me. Now just like Ghana, they arrived to US in their own tracksuits. So I featured them in my last video. Talked about how, okay, they arrived like this. I didn't know that they're going to have another, okay, they're already in the US. Now moving to another state in the US, you're now going to wear your dress, okay? If you're going to now wear your outfit, it's also okay for us to talk about it. And to me, in the 10 countries that made an appearance, I would just say that, I know Ivory Coast did their thing. DRC did their thing. Don't get me wrong. But you can see that it's also still like suits and then trying to infuse their thing, their cultural thing to it. But it's Senegal, to me, that went all through Africa. Like, this is it. There is no English, whatever, hiding to it. They are the ones that went full, African in their outfit. No gray areas, in my own opinion. This is just every other one, even the North African countries, you can see them, they wore suits, and maybe some will wear their, like Tunisia, they wear their chacha hat, cap, and, just one or two things to just infuse their own culture into it here and there. But Senegal, they are the only ones that just went all out, and everything from head to toe speaks African, and I am loving it. So the Teranga Lions arrived with quiet luxury. Their arrival was the definition of understated class. Now the Lions of Teranga stepped off the plane dressed in a coordinated modern African ensemble that perfectly, underline that word, perfectly blended tradition, elegance, and contemporary fashion. The players wore tailored ash gray tunics paired with sleek black sleeveless. I don't know if that is black. It's giving black, gray, in between. Now this overcoat created a sophisticated layered look that immediately stood out. Yes, it stood out. The minimalist color palette gave the outfit a refined and premium feel, while the clean line and structured cut highlighted the team's sense of discipline and unity. Yes, this video is just so calm. They don't like trouble. But if you find them, you go collect. Ask Morocco. You know what I mean, right? Anyway, accessories were kept simple yet effective. Luxury travel bag and premium sneakers added a modern touch, proving that style doesn't always need to be loud to make a statement. Yes, it doesn't have to be loud. And the combination of traditional African tailoring and contemporary fashion created an appearance that was both culturally rooted and globally appealing. Yes, I would say clock it at this point. The entire squad looked less like footballers arriving for a tournament and more like a delegation of African fashion ambassadors. Senegal's arrival sent a clear message: sophistication, unity, and excellence. Their fashion choice reflected the same calm and confidence that has made them one of Africa's most respected football nation. Yes, and the current champion of AFCON. Yes, I repeat, they are the current champions, the 2026 AFCON champion. Go and argue with you all. So yeah, I needed to just do this video again because I know that the ones I did before didn't have this, and I thought that I would not be doing this, 3 countries after the effort in coming out to represent the motherland. I thought that it wouldn't be fair if I don't do a video, even if it's just talk about 3 of them, because I mean, I was talking about people not representing the continent, and now if they now had another outfit to represent the continent, it was just only, fair that I do another video for them. So yeah, it was DRC Congo, Ghana, and Senegal. I love the fact that, yes, a good representation of African in a way, and it works perfectly for me. So guys, in conclusion, DRC Congo arrived like fashion royalty, Ghana arrived as cultural ambassadors, Senegal arrived as gentlemen of style, proving that true elegance speaks softly but leaves a lasting impression. That's it. So it's safe to say that Africa representatives didn't just arrive for the World Cup. They arrived with an identity, confidence, and undeniable drip. Yes. This time with these ones that have done this, it's okay to say that. I just said I should do this and then, keep it moving. Okay. All right, guys. What do you think? Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye for now.